Hi everyone, hope you are. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Shib. Once again, thank you for support. Big up the CoinsKid crew. Thank you to each and every single one of you for everything that you do, okay? Thanks for sharing the content, and thank you for liking the videos, most importantly. And thank you for your subscription. I think we've hit 240,000 subscribers now. You know, 10 more thousand off 250,000 subscribers on YouTube is amazing. I only started this journey in March, I think it was. You know, making videos every day for you guys. So yeah, it's amazing, and we're all in this journey together. One thing I wish I had done though is bought this particular token this time last year, because I think a couple of $100 investment would have been worth way over $1 million right now. Okay, so you know, I didn't know about this coin. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know anything about this coin. You know, there's so many coins that come out. This saturated space, isn't it, with crypto projects? I did put some tweets on Twitter the other day, and it was like, how many coins are there? I think there's over like 10,000 coins, and it's a very speculative space, isn't it? You know, some people are very lucky to get into these projects really early, and they hold them through the bear, and they come out on top. And remember, you know, millionaires are made in bear markets. Millionaires are made buying blood, buying fear, you know, buying absolute sort of depression basically in the markets, and that time will come. You know, on the flip side, hopefully we can make some millionaires out of the CoinsKid crew moving forward. So, you know, the opportunity comes in the bear market basically. It doesn't feel like it, you know, but it actually does. They're the optimal points. I mean, even this particular project here is just going sideways, wasn't it, all the way from that correction in May. It just showed no life. It's consolidating. If anything, you thought it would take another leg down, but then it's broke out, hasn't it? You know, literally when Bitcoin started to pick up, whereas this towards the 1st of October right here, as Bitcoin had that correction in September, it started to pick up, and it's absolutely retracing, isn't it? You know, it looks monstrous, doesn't it? But in actual fact, it's not absolutely monstrous. At that moment it's about 500% to its all-time highs, around about 564%. So it's not massive, 5x. You do know what I mean? And the reason is because of its appreciation already. It's absolutely took off into space, this has, you know, from its inception. So these white lines here are points of resistance that I do think you run into for Shib, you know, in this bull run. So potentially, you know, I've done some TA on this particular project before. I think from here right now, that top white line is potentially, you know, a bit of a top before you enter quite a large correction right there. So it's essentially a 2x from this point, taking it to just over $40 billion market cap, I think. So if we take a look at it at the moment, you can see it's pushing through the rankings, isn't it? So a 2x from there, you're looking, you know, to double up basically, you're looking at 60k market capitalization, you know, 60 billion, sorry. So it puts it up there with the likes of Solana, moving it almost into the top 10 there. You know, so it's working its way, isn't it? It's doing really, really well. It is working its way through the rankings right there. So for me, you know, is it going to get into the hundreds of millions, hundreds of billions of dollar market cap? Who knows? But you've got Binance to overtake at 81 billion. You've got Ethereum at $500 billion almost, and you've got Bitcoin at $1.172 trillion market capitalization there. So these are the sort of tokenomics you have to think about. Okay, potentially 5x, you know, takes it up to sort of $100 market cap, $100 billion market cap basically. So for me, it's not got an amazing amount of room to grow in it. You know, there are other coins that I'm looking at that have potentially got more upside, but it doesn't mean it's a load of poo and you can't make some money off it. And for those that are holding, and congratulate you and all that, it's got appreciation in it. I do see that, you know, as long as you keep doing what you do, because it's a very memey coin, is it? A lot of people they're buying it on Coinbase, and you know, because they can get so many of them, it makes them feel rich, perhaps. I don't know. Personally, I don't own any. You know, I did trade this. You know, it's a beautiful little trade right there. Shib up to this level. This was a great little breakout. You know, and like I said to you, always take profits, don't be greedy. And right now that locked in at about 61%. So I'm just waiting for it to cool down right now, because it did run into this resistance and it came back to this support of the EMAs, you know, and it's come back up and it's actually met the technical target right there. So right now, what's it doing? Is it calling off? Where's the next levels of resistance? So for me, I think that potentially you retrace into this high just here, okay? And once you do that, potentially run into it as resistance and start to come back and create a potentially another kind of horizontal on the 4-hourly time frame here, you know, even some kind of cup and handle pattern perhaps, you know. And at that point, when you start to come up and break this level of resistance just there, this all-time high for Shib, I do anticipate that you're putting in a massive cup and handle pattern, which is a bullish pattern. Okay, so if we take a look at that, that could potentially be your next target, you know. And from this break here, this resistance, that could offer a beautiful long of around about 89%, but it will run into these levels, these white lines along the way, because they're the levels of resistance in the Fibonacci, basically, and this is what these projects conform to, is Fibonacci. Look, so look, the white lines I've dropped in for you. So yeah, I do think you're on your way. I could drop that out right now, that particular target, because it's been met. Potentially run into this previous all-time high as resistance, start to come back. Everyone thinks you've gone bearish, but you'll be forming a kind of beautiful little cup and handle pattern, or even, you know, some kind of a continuation pattern, basically, in ascending triangle or whatever, just a continuation pattern. Start to break out, and once you break this level of resistance, you can see a huge cup and handle continuation pattern breakout, and that would see you moving up and onwards to this 1618, the 1414, and a 1272, which is where I do think you run into resistance, come back, run into resistance, come back, run into resistance, and potentially get your blow off top up there, okay, which will send it, you know, to 60, 70, 80 billion dollar market capitalization for this project moving forward. Okay, so that's basically SHIB. Where could you enter? Well, basically at the moment you can see you worked through the fibs. Okay, so you ran into the golden ratio, the 618, then you hold the 050, so you've come up and you've actually melted through the 786, to be honest with you. Let's have a look. So you've kind of melted through it. You came up at a level of resistance, okay, which was a technical target, came back down, held the EMAs. So right now, if you do start to run into that resistance just there, just put some cheeky bids on the 786, okay, the 786, which is potentially where the 20 EMA is starting to creep up to on the 4 hours. So the 786 currently sits at, let's get this in for you, I'll zoom in on that. So that's the 786. That might be a good area to put some cheeky bids on if you do start to see it roll back over, okay, for SHIB, just there like that. So yeah, that's basically it. You know, once you break that high just here, let's drop that in. Once you break that high, I do think you're looking at a push to all these levels here. You've got this one, the 1272. I think you've got the 1414 as resistance, and then you've got your 1618 right there, and then you'll be in the technical target of a cup and handle to that particular target as well, you know, and these will all be resistance along the way for you, just like these fibs were coming up. You run into resistance, falling back to support, okay, continuation basically. So yeah, SHIB, you know, for me, I'm not overly excited about it, because at any point with this particular project, okay, it can, because so many people are buying it, they can equally contribute to the selling of it as well. Do you understand that? And you know, if it starts to correct, you'll just see a cascade of selling in it, and you could get some real nasty red dildos at some point, you know. So just be careful. Don't buy big green candles, because you get big red dildos. You get shafted basically. So yeah, that's basically SHIB. Hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned, and thank you once again for your support. Take care, everyone. Back soon with another SHIB update. Bye bye.